How old are you?
24.
Oh.
But, you know, I got my first job when I was 14 years old with tax papers and everything. It's legal to work at 14. And I got my first car at 14, my driver's license.
14, not 16.
Yeah, 14.
How come?
In my state of South Dakota, it's the lowest age that you can drive a car legally
14.
In the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14 years old. But you know, South Dakota is a very, I don't know, almost you would call it libertarian view on things. It's kind of the ideology that we don't like the government at all, even in our own state. And so if you are in a position of in politics in South Dakota, where I'm from, you're probably running on a platform of saying, I'm going to do absolutely nothing. And people are like, yeah, like that's what we want. We don't want you to do anything. And so basically it's kind of like they don't want cars to need license plates. If it was allowed, if it was possible for the state to run without license plates or without driver's license, they would do it. We'd be the first state to be like, yep, cut that off.
Yeah.
You don't have to register cars. You don't have to register drivers, nothing, because it is your right to own a motor vehicle and to drive it whenever you please. So in South Dakota, instead, it is, there are no taxes on registering motor vehicles. And so basically, no matter what car I buy, I pay $40 for license plates and that's it. There's no inspections on cars at all to register them. And to get your driver's license, you don't technically need to have any time behind the wheel beforehand. Damn. You go into a place, the testing facility, you pay $20, you go out with the instructor, it's 2 left turns and 2 right turns. Here's your license. That's it. And so, and it's like laws for guns. There are no background checks, nothing. You can open carry a handgun in a holster without a permit.
Yeah. Same like in Nevada, though.
It depends on the state you're in. But so South Dakota, when it comes to cars, when it comes to guns, when it comes to property, when it comes to basically everything is extremely, extremely relaxed. So because of this, I am 24 years old, but I have 10 years of driving experience and 10 years of work experience.
That's crazy.
And I shot my first gun at 6 years old, you know, somewhere in the woods.
Because why not?
Yeah.
So you pretty much been through it all already, like.
Yeah, well, and so that gives me sort of, people see it as, I think I read somewhere that like in Croatia, like people end up, the average person moves out of their parents' home and gets their own place at 31 years old.
I mean, that's some kind, I think, about around this time now, but it's been better before. But nowadays it's like something like that, 30s or something.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
It's
to
the
me,
standard, though.
right?
No,
and my parents kicked me out when I was 18. You know, so I've been. I joined the Army at 19 years old. I
read that.
Yeah, served as an enlisted soldier for 4 years. You know, so it's like at 24, I've lived quite a lot of life and done quite a lot of things. You know, I've got lots of skills, especially, you know, that first car I bought at age 14. I ended up having to save up money from, I mowed lawns around the neighborhood. I cut people's grass for $10 a yard or $20 a yard, depending on the size. I saved up the whole summer and I bought a car for $300 and it was a piece of trash. And so I am a mechanic now at 24 because that car, it sucked. It was always breaking down.
So you had to work on it.
Well, and so that's something people ask me a lot because I'm really into cars. I'm always working on them. Actually, I was planning on working on my car today. These are work clothes. I showed up in my work clothes, if you're wondering. But people go, well, what made you want to become a mechanic? Or what made you want to learn? I was like,
the need.
I had to get to work the next day, and my car was broken, and I needed to fix it. And that's it, you know?
Well, thank God we live in a YouTube era, so you can pretty much learn anything.
Well, you know, I had somebody, I had a fan come up to me just the other day on the street. They didn't ask for a picture or anything. They just shook my hand and said, hey, I'm kind of in a hurry, but I really want to know what if there's any advice you could give to a young person like me, what would it be? And I thought that was interesting because it was very sincere, you know. Like I said, he didn't want a picture, nothing. He just asked. And I said that if you're really passionate about something or you need to get something done, you got to do research. And the internet is a great tool for that. I'm not the smartest guy. I'm not the most capable guy, but I know how to research. I'm really good at it. And so the internet has the answers to basically every problem or every issue you could imagine. And so people are asking me things like, well, how do I be popular on TikTok, or how do I be an influencer, or how do I fix my car, or whatever? And it's like, I learned all that stuff from the internet, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a formal education in anything. I didn't even go to high school.
Oh, really?
I was homeschooled my entire life. So my mother was my teacher. I graduated from my living room at age 17. We got a diploma in the mail.
Damn.
So once again, South Dakota, right? Here in a place like Croatia, your kids have to go to school.
Yeah.
And they have to go to some kind of accredited school. In South Dakota, that's just not the case. If you don't want your kids to go to school, fine. If you want to school them yourselves, fine. You know, whatever you'd like to do.
And that's actually legal.
Yes, of course. Yeah, and a homeschool diploma, mine says Reid Academy on it. Reid Homeschool Academy is my diploma. That is accepted, just as any other high school diploma would be in my state.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah, so there's huge, but that's the thing, it's just about rights, right? So I think there's a misconception with a lot of Americans who misinform foreigners, and they talk about how America has freedom, right? We have freedom, but it's like, okay, Croatia has freedom. There's freedom here in Croatia. I really believe that. But the key to America is liberty, which is a special type of freedom, which is freedom from government tyranny. So the government wants to oppress you by pushing their laws and their rules on you, telling you how to live, what to eat, where to go, what to do. And the United States is founded on a principle that is wrong, and that the government should stay out of the normal person's life. And so the promise in South Dakota is that you have basically the only thing the government will give you is the ability to succeed or the ability to fail.
Yeah.
And if you're going to fail, you're alone. You're toast, right? Good luck getting any money from the government. Good luck getting anybody to bail you out. I don't know, go to a church and ask for some help, you know? And so, but as an ambitious person, right, who comes from a very normal family with a very normal life and a very normal background, using the power of research and the internet, I somehow have been able to make something of myself. And that stems from this sort of system that I grew up in and I benefited from.